Hello everyone, my name is Arun and welcome to my channel. This series is a tutorial on C programming, and now in this tutorial we'll be doing two things. One, we'll be installing an IDE called as code blocks, and two, we'll be writing our first Hello World program. Now, IDE is actually a short form of interactive development environment, and an IDE is actually a software that helps us to write programs and see and compile them and execute them directly in the software itself. Okay, and it also helps us to point out any errors, mistakes, or something like that. Now, if you are a beginner, working with an IDE is a great way to kickstart with learning programming languages. And for C, C++, and Fortran, one of the most famous and very popular and very easy to use IDE is actually code blocks. Now I'm going to tell you guys how to do that, install that. First, what you have to type code blocks in your web browser, press enter, and you should get a web link like this, codeblocks.org. And when you click that, you should be directed to a web page like this, and depending on when you look at it, there will be slight differences, not a problem. And over here, go to downloads. Okay, let me zoom the screen up. There we go, that's a little better. Over here there will be this option called as downloads, and over here there are three options available. One is this called as a binary release, other one is actually the source code release, and the other one is called as the SVN release. Okay, and now what you do is click this binary release, and in the binary release there would be the software for Windows, Linux 32-bit systems, Linux 64-bit systems, and a Mac OS X. Now, if you are a Windows user, you can download the setup.exe link over file over here using from this FastHub or sourceforge.net, whichever one is available when you see it. Okay, and usually pick this one, that will be more than enough. And these are other versions, you can try them, but not a big deal. But this one will be more than sufficient. Other ones have different permissions, and if you want to know more about it, you can read it over here. For Linux users, you can directly download these tar files over here, extract them, and then build them if you want, or use them directly. Okay, but for Linux users, there is a much simpler way to do it. If you have any software installer in your package in your operating system, your Linux operating system, like Ubuntu Software Center if you're using Ubuntu, or PAMAC or Octopi if you're using Manjaro, or some version of Arch. Okay, if that being the case, there will be a facility to install code blocks directly, so you can pick that up. Okay, you can install code blocks directly from there. Okay, now with that being said, this is about the installation. Don't worry, trust me, installing this is not that difficult, so it's very easy to work with. Once you have that, okay, you can have code blocks in your system. So let me start my code blocks, and there we go. And if everything works out well, you should have a window that you should have the program opening up like this, and this should be very much similar over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is ignore this warning, it's not a big deal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new project, and you should get a window like this, and over here you can simplify your option. Okay, simplify your option to minimize. I'm just going to click console, and you can click this to be a console application, click go, and I can click next, and over here I'm going to put this as C. Okay, click next, and I already selected a folder to write my project in, so I'm going to keep that folder. I'm going to create a project title. Since this is going to be my first file, first program I'm going to write the 01 hello world. Okay, this is my project title, and click next. And you have an option to pick the compilers over here, and let this be beginner C compiler. If you're using some other compiler, you can pick the compiler as per your choice. Okay, and let these options be on. Okay, you select these options, let them be, and click finish. And once you're done, you should have something like this. Okay, and on the right hand side you will have the hello world option over here, and you have a folder called as sources, and inside this sources there will be a file called as main.c, and if you double click it, Well, actually, I'm surprised actually because the program itself wrote this. Roadblocks itself wrote this. Okay. Now what we're going to do is that let's see if this is working. Okay. Let's see if this is working. So to run this file, okay, we have to write build this file first. Build this, okay, and then you have to run this. And if you do that, you will get up. Our terminal will pop up like this, and will show hello world over here. Okay. Now, thing is, I actually thought of writing the code by myself, but since you know the program itself developed it for me, now it's easy to work. It's easy. My job became a little easier. How about that? Anyway, that's all I have for you guys in this tutorial. Okay. Now in the next tutorial, I'll be talking to you guys about all this nitty gritty details, like what does this stdio means, what does this mean, what does this mean, and what is this main function and printf and all everything. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in detail about what this is and all about it in the next video. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.